Hello, my name is Hector Velazquez and welcome to another episode of GCSAA Inside the Shop. Today we're going to be talking about oil analysis and why we should probably start implementing oil analysis more into our PM program. Now here with us to talk to us about this is Greg Dinger, Equipment Manager at the Glacier Club in Glacier, Colorado. He's pulling an oil sample now, so let's check him out. Greg, as you're getting ready to draw your sample from the tank there, what is the most important step that we need to be aware of when doing this?
The most important thing about getting the oil in the bottle is that you do it consistently. The same thing every time. So if you pull from the middle of the tank at 100 hours and you're going to do it again at 300 hours, you want to make sure you're pulling from the middle of the tank at 300 hours and you're getting the same sample from the same area right after mowing when everything's good and hot. Consistency, right? You want to be super consistent.
All right, as Greg gets his sample ready to be shipped out to the lab, check with your local lube supplier or even some auto parts store provide oil analysis services. So that's something to look into. Now, you're going to get a report that looks something like this. It's going to give you kind of like an overall recommendations, but I want you to dig a little deeper. For example, this section right here in this report, the elemental content, be familiarized with those metals, where they come from. If you find a lot of this certain kind of metal, then you know it could be bearings, it could be your piston rings, it could have a high ppm of iron. You know, that could be something that's wearing down. So that's what's great about these reports is you're able to pinpoint certain problems before they become a problem. Here's another section to this report that you want to pay attention to, and that is the viscosity of the oil. If the oil's viscosity is too high, the oil may not reach critical areas that it needs to reach. At the same time, if the viscosity is too thin, then it's not going to form that film in between parts that it needs to. Another section of this report that you want to pay attention to is water. That's a common problem, especially with golf equipment. When we're always washing equipment, we're working out there in wet grass and dew. Now, water, you really want to pay attention to that in your oil. That it's never good to have in your oil. If you find water present in your system, you must change the oil right away and find out how that water got in there to begin with. Another number you want to pay attention to that most people are not aware of is the TAN, or the total acid numbers. If this number is significantly increasing over time, usually indicates a rise in oxidative degradation of your oil. So something to keep an eye on. Well, as you can see, oil analysis can give us a lot of information, valuable information, that can really help us fine-tune our PM program. I want to thank Greg Dinger, and I want to thank you for joining us here on GCSAA Inside the Shop, where we're helping technicians one wrench at a time.